Silas Johnson, Baja Retreat and Spa, Mario Woodside, independent candidate for Nassau Village, Nassau Mother, and the Progressive Liberal Party.
You have to be strong in today's world. Keep your focus and up. You believe in how to achieve all your dreams. Keep moving forward. Never accept less than who you are. Live your best life. Be strong and free. It's the It Back with Nahaja Black. It's the It Back with Nahaja Black. It's the It Back with Nahaja Black. It's the It Back with Nahaja Black.
Good afternoon, Bahamas, and welcome to the Hit Back. I'm your host, Nahaja Black. It's a beautiful day here in the 242. We are one day away from advanced polling, y'all. Tomorrow is the beginning of an election time and season. I got on my, Black Point shirt, Black Point Exuma, right? I got a Black Point. Yeah, Black Point, right? Make your wish our best dish. This was one great restaurant there, Laureen's Cafe in Black Point, Exuma. Shout out to Laureen's Cafe in Black Point. So I hope that everybody's doing well, taking care of yourself, that you are living your best life. I got my good friend, C.A. Newry, joining me today. We are going to be talking about some Battleground constituencies today. I think that, as we get into this, it's so much more interesting as we begin to see the constituents. Things are solidifying and we're coming to the end. I wonder if anyone else is just as excited as I am for this to be over. Like, I just wanted to be done now. I'm like totally exhausted with discussing the pros and cons of leadership and governance. And I'm really hoping, man, I won't lie to you, what will be the best thing for us is one day when we have discussions on a show where we're excited about an initiative, where we're excited to talk about it and we're feeling hopeful and enthusiastic and we're driven by the ideas that are happening, and we are saying, hey, this is being done strategically. We can see an end game, and then there are timelines, and that there is a level of transparency that gives us confidence. But again, the challenges with any relationship, when you come out of abusive or relationships, either verbally or physically, emotionally, there's this challenge of trust. And I think the governments think that because they win, they've won our trust. And that is a misnomer, because you can tell in the last 20 years, we've gone back and forth. We've not been pleased. And that shows that you've not won our trust in this process. You've won the seat, but the trust to continue has not been there. And that's what happens when you find yourself in a relationship with someone who's broken. And I believe that we are a broken people. We're not trusting anymore because everybody has smooth words and saying, wine and dine, dance to us, give us, candlelight dinner in the wooing phase. And then once you're mine, we drop all the pretense. And you realize that really was just to get in the house, but you were living and doing all of these things for someone else. So whilst I go out, someone else in the house, you know what I mean? So this is going to be something where one day I'm hoping, one day I pray. And I don't know, I'm not one to trust. I'm become very pessimistic. I got to see it. And so you don't win my affection because you won the seat. You win my affection because you're doing the job. And I think that that's where we are now. Women people want to be, we want the relationship to be where we're feeling each other, where you come and you tell me the truth. This is going to be hard. We're going to have to do X, Y, and Z. And why we're going to have to do X, Y, and Z is because we're trying to get to X or to Z. We're trying to get to alpha. We're trying to get to beta. This is the steps to get to beta. But what do we have to do in the interim? These are the things that we have to do in the interim. How you can trust me is that, you know what? I'm going to put some timelines, some guidelines. I'm going to put markers so that you can see that we're making progress. I'm going to be transparent. So we're going to enact some things that's going to force our transparency. We're not going to continue to do business as usual. There are some things that at the beginning of any new government that comes in, that should be automatic, I believe. That should be automatic, that they should say, we believe in ourselves. We believe that we're going to be so effective that we're going to put in our own the guardrails necessary. We are going to put the ombudsman into play. We are going to do the Integrity Commission to its fullest extent. These are things that we're going to do to ensure to you, the Bahamian people. So it's like if you have a cheating, like you find that someone was cheating in your relationship. What are some of the things that you do when you find out there's some cheating? You say, okay, listen, how do I regain trust? How do you regain trust? You make sure that there is no more passwords on devices. You call when you go out, right? You make sure that the other person knows where you are. You make sure you're more visible, you're more open. I think any government that comes in has to be more open, more visible, more vulnerable. And yes, there are going to be attacks on your visibility, right? And I would give credit to this administration. At least they gave us budget reports. You remember the last guys didn't give us budget reports. At least now we get budget reports and we can dissect those budget reports. But the sad thing is that you have to say, well, at least you gave us the budget reports. It's like crazy how long we've gone around without really transparency in our fiscal affairs, but we digress. All right. Before we get to my good friend C.A. Newry joining me on the show, and hello to everyone who's watching. I want to say shout out to everyone in Lamar Griffin wants a shout out. Lamar gets a shout out. I want to say good afternoon to Juliet. We got some people. I met a wonderful lady today, Crystal Arnett at Royal Bank. I want to say shout out to Crystal Arnett there at RBC. It was a pleasure meeting you and your colleague. I also want to say hello to one of my biggest fans, and CA, I don't know if you know, a shout out to Marie, to Sean, B, to Juliet, Ava, Jeremy, Karen, everyone. I want to say this, Cecil, I got one of the biggest fans, CA. She is 5 or 6, right? Little person, Anai Smith. She sings the theme song. If nobody else likes the song, right? It is Anai. Hey, Davon, Nicole, everyone. Anai Smith sings the song. It's the hit back, and she's the cutest little thing. See, so you need a song. You need a song, right? You need a song because then Anai might sing it. Okay? I just throw that out there. But I want to say also hello to Al Marie and to everyone who follows the show. I appreciate you. I thank you for the words of encouragement because you guys have been fuel that keeps me going when there are many days when CA says, oh, she's 3. Al Marie on the feed, boy. Mummy on the feed. My girl Anai is only 3. Shout out to Anai and her wonderful mom, Al Marie. So good to know folks are there. When will I have all the candidates on? Well, it ain't free no more. So, can't have all the candidates on no more. That season when it was free is over. Once that bell rang, everything was a toll after the bell rang. My good friend C.A. Newry, everybody, welcome to the show.
It's good to be on your show once more again. And it's a toll. It's a toll that you must pay to have the privilege to be on the show and to explain what your party is doing and what you personally are doing. And the candidates are aware of this. So they need to step up and pay the toll to cross the bridge.
They got to pay the
bridge
toll.
To the future, definitely.
Bridge to the future, definitely.
You're in the cliches.
Yeah. Funny thing was, anyone could have called before the bell rang. And I mean, anyone. I've given so many people who should never have been on. I gave so many people. One fellow in particular I could think of. And I said, I remember one of my colleagues said, Nahaja, really? Like, why? I was like,
Again?
man, I was trying to give everyone a chance. And and I remember half through this, I'm like, you ain't making no sense. No sense at all. And I realized he ain't making no sense because he ain't even running. It was like something kind of funky. It was weird. So good to have everybody on. And again, shout out to my girl, my wonderful biggest fan, Anai, and her mom, Al Marie, and Crystal Arnett there over at RBC. Good hello to everyone. It's so good to have you. CA, how come you never sang my theme song, man? You'd be supposed to be friends, man.
I like the chorus. It's a good theme song.
Thanks, man.
I'm glad that you transitioned to it, and it's a Bahamian singer. So it's always something to celebrate. I'm cool with it. I like the chorus. The hook is good.
Yeah. Because you the first time you heard it, you didn't like it, so you kind of petty. But I
always like the hook. The hook was good. That beginning was kind of slow for me.
But I still bring you on. You're still my person.
I appreciate you for making space for me.
When we come back, we're gonna take a break. When we come back, by the way, CA, Our show on Friday has been a huge success. I got to tell you all of the reviews we're getting, but we got to talk swing voters as well. We'll take a quick break. When we come back, CA Newry and I are going to jump off into what I think was the beginning of just great conversation. The swing voters, those blocks, what does it mean? Which constituency swing back and forth? We'll be back right after this.
Hello, Bahamas. My name is Dr. Dwayne Sands. I was born and raised in Centerville, in the heart of the valley, Nassau, Bahamas. I'm a proud Bahamian. I've been fortunate to represent the great people of Elizabeth for the last 5 years. It has always been my dream to serve my country, and I have been involved in the political process on the front line since 2009. I am very, very proud of the support of my family, who have been with me from the beginning and who are still with me to this day. In particular, my wife, Lorica, and all of my children. And actually, there's quite a few of them. I'm actually a cardiovascular surgeon. What that means is I take on the sickest people with the biggest problems every day. And so for me, the political process to deal with the challenges facing our country is pretty much par for the course. It's what I do every day. I am happy to be a part of the great team of the Free National Movement under the leadership of Dr. Hubert Minnis. We are indeed Elizabeth Strong.
This has been a paid political announcement by the FNM candidate for Elizabeth.
Sugar, sugar, let's get sugary. Softer, smoother, and amazing skin. Oh, sugar, sugar, we're the sugar ladies. Giving you skin soft as a baby's. Goodbye, hair, we'll take good care of you.
Come visit us at Baja Retreat Spa on East Bay Street. Contact us at 323-6711 or visit us online at www.bajaretreat.com.
Looking for a roomy SUV that's affordable? Take a look at the new Chevrolet Traverse. It seats up to 8 and is ranked best in class for cargo space. Its spacious interior design offers the latest features to keep you and your family entertained. What's more, you'll get up to a 5-year, 100,000-kilometer factory warranty along with Chevrolet's superior engineering and safety record. So, test drive the new Chevrolet Traverse today at Nassau Motor Company on Shirley Street, where standards are higher.
This is Guardian Radio, your station for up-to-the-minute news, intelligent, interactive, and engaging conversation. 96.9 FM.
It's the Hit Back with Nahaja Black. It's the Hit Back with
And we're back. You're listening to the Hit Back with Nahaja Black, Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. I got my good friend CA Newry joining me today. Buddy, what's up?
It's good, man. It's like what, 14 good days, or
No,
how
man,
many
you
days?
can't.
Nine?
No, man.
Nine?
It's not.
Eight?
It's
Eight good days. 8 good days.
No. Literally, it's a week. Today's Thursday. Is today Thursday? No, sorry.
No, today's Wednesday.
8 good days.
So tomorrow is the official 7 good days mark.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's exciting. I'm excited. I don't know about you, but I'm excited. Let's get it over with. Regardless of the outcome, let it be done, and let us. I won't lie to you. Election night, my first one was the last election, and I had a great time because it was not. I you know, when you don't have a dog in the race, you just enjoy the race.
So you're doing that again? This go round?
Yeah,
We're gonna
man.
have a panel?
Yeah. We're gonna have a good time. Someone says Vaughn says they need to get you a contract now. Y'all don't.
You trying to get in our business?
You get
Get in our friendship?
She's gonna mess around and then talk about money and things. I don't know what's going on there. Y'all just leave my good friend, watching from North Carolina. I just appreciate everyone. Don't forget, you can follow us on Facebook and YouTube. To everyone who's listening on air, you can always follow and watch again later and share parts of our show. We found that our show from Friday is trending in social media. Parts of it is definitely making people are having fun watching you go crazy to Mr. Lundy's song, Cecil. So that's always
a great song. It was a great song.
Yeah. It's always
Friday we are on for that last bit of songs again.
Yep.
And so those persons who are, because I heard Renwood Wells has a song, and I heard, so they say Renwood Wells have a song. I haven't heard it as yet, but hopefully I'll see it on my timeline soon. So
hopefully get the song. We need to get the songs.
Yes,
I've gotten songs for I've gotten I think Joe Beth's song. I've gotten Ginger Moxie's song.
Nice.
I've gotten a bunch of songs. As someone says, go ahead.
I know you got the Coalition of Independence songs.
I got the Coalition of Independence song.
I can't wait to hear that. I can't wait to hear that. Because I know I shall be celebrating and dancing for the Coalition of Independence song. So I want to see what Lincoln Bain has up his sleeves. Definitely be all in the song.
I just don't want to be on the live at 8:00 that night. I just don't want to be on the live at 8:00. You know, that 8:00 live. So that's bad news. That's bad news.
We'll play the song all the same.
We're gonna play that song.
Yes.
Pia Glover. For folks who don't, we've played Pia Glover's song that first Friday when we did. Pia was a 4.5. Her song was. It was pretty good. Pia's song is pretty good. We'll play it again for those who may not be aware, but Pia even has a video. Shout out to Pia Glover in her video. You know who I miss in this time before we start what we were talking about? I miss Tennille Burrows, independent candidate.
Nice.
I miss Tada. You know, I miss her. I miss what she brought to the table as an independent candidate for Elizabeth. The level of conversation aptitude, her thinking was very much, I think, refreshing and a breath of fresh air. So Tennille Burrows, I know you're out there. Love you, miss you, and hope you're doing well. Someone says one thing about Lincoln, he always has a live at 8 or 8:30. He now has official channel. He has the channel.
Yes.
All right. So we got a lot of stuff to talk about today. Let's talk about it, Cecil. We're talking today about swing constituencies and swing voters, right? And what I think we have to look at is which constituencies are swing constituencies, or some of them, meaning that back and forth between, PLP, F&M, PLP, F&M, right? And I wanted to go in, and because of time, I picked out 6 for us to talk about, right?
And I appreciate you defining what swing voters or swing constituencies is, because I was kind of confused on what you meant by it. Because, last election, there was a big shift, and I wanted to know if they were swing constituencies also.
Yeah, that goes back and forth between F&M and PLP. The constituencies stand firm. Like we know St. Anne's stands firm. Killarney stands firm. Engliston, they stand firm. They are, what they're going to do, right? But we have constituencies that have shown that, we just want representation that is better. Or is it that we want representation that just ain't you? And we're choosing between the two. But let's start with this one, right? So interesting, and we'll show the candidates for each constituency that's running and just discuss that briefly. But one of those constituencies, the first one, and we'll go in alphabetical order, is Carmichael, right? Carmichael in New Providence. In 2002, they voted PLP. And we're getting this data, special thanks to Spectrum Politics, who provided the graphics and the data for us. And they're considering this constituency a swing constituency. So in 2002, they voted PLP. 2007, F&M. 2012, PLP. 2017, F&M. And we have for this constituency, I think it's interesting to note that for this constituency, we have, and I'm going to open it up, we have quite a bit of candidates. Carmichael has 7 candidates. And I wonder, how does this help or affect, how does this help or affect the outcome in this? And I want to get your thoughts first as I share the screen, but your thoughts of Carmichael and what they need. What is Carmichael? What is the Carmichael constituency? Why do they go back and forth?
Well, Carmichael, inclusive of all of those southern western constituencies, tend to have a mixed group of people, working class people who have their own homes and tend to have a saving account. right?
Mhm.
So they're more
Yeah.
discerning in general. They tend to challenge their politicians, their representatives, and they want more and desire more. They're completely different makeup than inner city and even in the affluent areas. So they tend to demand more of their representative, and I assume that is the reason why they tend to go back and forth trying to find the ideal person for who they want to represent them. And this is the reason why I think our Carmichael, that organization came about. They were trailblazers in terms of having a community, a what they call City 2000, which stretches from Blue Road all the way to Adelaide, right? Where they have ideas and community outreach programs, and I think that is one of the reasons why they go back and forth.
Yeah, and I think it's interesting too because of course F&M incumbent Desmond Bannister, then we've got Keith Bell, we've got for the PLP, we've got DNA Orinthia Kumalafe, KGM Samuel Johnson, we've got and KGM's the Kingdom Government Movement. We've got the Coalition of Independents, Charlotte Green running, GCP. Let me make sure I know. Grand Commonwealth Party, that's a newer party. Glenn Roll, and then independent O'Brien Knowles. O'Brien Knowles ran last election with another party, and I can't remember the name of it, but it was another party, I think led by Wesley Campbell, if memory serves me correctly. But so this is an interesting layout. You know, I think this is, I know 1, 2, 3, 4 of those persons. I've spoken to 4 of them personally, right? Like I've spoken to them. I've had a chance to meet them. I think, you know, will it go back PLP just because it is a swing? Just because it's a swing? And what frustrates the people of Carmichael that we go back and forth? And I think that's the question. What frustrates Carmichael residents? Will it be the overall review of how they feel about the government, or is it what is done on the ground? Because the last MP for there was Shane Gibson. No, was Shane Gibson the last MP? No, Shane Gibson was
Golden Gates for Shane Gibson.
Yeah. Who was the last MP for Carmichael?
I think it's Gibson right now. And perhaps that was the reason. People forgot who the person was.
Yeah, I got
it. But if I remember correctly, I remember Bell ran for the PLP last election. I know he was not the MP. He came in as a senator. So I assume that whoever was the last representative was not running again.
Yeah. Listen, I'm trying to figure out now in terms of how all of this, shakes out. What would they do? Because if we're going back and forth, because it is Danny Johnson. That's who it was. Okay. Danny Johnson was Carmichael, the incumbent for Carmichael, who lost the last election. So I mean,
well, he didn't lose. He chose not to run. But go ahead.
Was that what it was?
Yes, because Keith Bell ran for the PLP last election and lost.
Okay, but that's who had the seat before.
Yes, he was the incumbent at the time.
Yeah, that's who it was. It was the incumbent. He chose not to run again. Keith Bell ran, lost. So we know that Carmichael does this back and forth bit. They do the dance, they do the dance. They go back and forth. So I think that is going to be one where you look and say, hey, what's the position? Because again, 2002, they voted PLP, F&M, PLP, F&M. Are we anticipating that's what's going to happen again?
The question is, did Desmond Bannister, the Deputy Prime Minister, Minister of Works, did enough for Carmichael? Did they address their issues? Was he a good representative? I know they tend to brag about Silver Gates in their park. And
that's a main park now. That park don't play.
It's a pretty park. It's a pretty park. And they have that as their feather in their cap. And I just want to know, do you think that is enough to pacify the people of Carmichael to say, well, I will continue to give Desmond Bannister the chance? Because right now, most persons would say that Desmond Bannister is ahead. But with the history of that the PLP had the seat before, I think that Keith Bell wants to go on to that wave and take advantage and reclaim it for the PLP.
Do you believe that the Bahamian people might just say back and forth, we're going to try someone new? Orinthia Kumalafe, leader of the Democratic National Alliance, is there. Does she have a chance to surprise many. And do you believe that with the coalition now, there, how many votes will be split because of it? Maybe affecting the outcome of a constituency that might be close. And I have the data from last
definitely, Komalafe is a good candidate, and I think that the people of Carmichael appreciate it, just like how nationally the people of the Bahamas appreciate Komalafe as an individual, right? So definitely she will garner attention. I think she'll garner attention to progressive women who see her potential and that she deserves an opportunity and chance. But in terms of how she takes or influences the vote, I believe that both Desmond Bannister and Keith Bell will be detracted by it, and we just have to see to what extent. I don't believe it's a safe seat. I believe that both Keith Bell and Desmond Bannister will have to campaign until the very last day to secure the seat, or they are subject to lose it.
Someone says, this is what, okay, so last election, this is what happened last election. Keith Bell got 31%, let's say 32% of the votes. Desmond Bannister got 61% of the votes. Then you had Bush and Brister, who got let's say 7%. And Mr. O'Brien Knowles, who's the independent, he ran there before Brothers Persistent, and less than 1%. And I have this chart, right? I have this chart, and wonderfully done by a great statistician. And you know what I find funny? He has this one bracket of if they lost their deposit. So he has it in brackets, lost deposit. Petty but true. Didn't lose their deposit. So I think this is interesting now. Will the PLP all of a sudden is this a wave where you will see that Bell is no longer the underdog? Because that's a big margin to lose by. So
yes, but remember the Bahamas went through a wave. We see that historically PLP seats changed completely over, and the candidate lost by 30-40%. So just because Desmond Bannister won by such a high margin doesn't necessarily means that he had the support. It shows that it was definitely a PLP / Perry Christie, former Prime Minister, fatigue, and a message was being sent. I believe that has been rectified now and right-sized, where the persons who support the FNM will stay there, those who support the PLP will return, and those in the middle, those independent thinkers who don't necessarily support parties will definitely determine who will be the next candidate. And this is where polling should be done. I would assume that both the PLP and the FNM should have done some great polling to see where they stand, and beforehand know which constituencies, and not using the 2017 demographics and numbers, but using the numbers pre that.
It's going to be very interesting, I think, to see how someone says vote for Trump. Steve say vote for Trump. Jennifer says this is a different type of election. There will be another wave in favor. This will be another wave in favor of the PLP. I think that's going to be interesting to see. I think that's going to be interesting to see.
And the polls is not showing that, Nahaja. We see there are about several polling companies now. Everybody is a polling company.
Yeah.
And they're showing both the PLP and the FNM neck to neck. The one day you see the FNM is ahead by 3-4 points. And then earlier we saw that the PLP was ahead by 2-3 points, right? Yeah. So we know that if you want to win this election, you will have to go on the ground and claim it. You would have to pick up people and drop them off to the polls.
Yes.
Because I think it's going to be a low voters turnout. And in order to win, you would need to want to have that desire and work for it.
You got to bust them in there, boy. Someone says in this season, you can't afford to lose your deposit. Things tough, and $400 ain't no little bit of money. Some folks just fighting for country. We can take a quick break. See you when we come back. The next swing constituency. We'll discuss it when we come back. We got a lot of those. You're listening to the Hit Back with Nahaja Black, Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. We'll be back right after this.
When I got prostate cancer. My family didn't know if I was going to live. At Cancer Treatment Centers of America, within days, I got an appointment. They presented me with treatment options, and we set up a robotic prostatectomy. When my scans came back, there are no signs of cancer. They don't see you as a number, they see you as a part of the family. I'm going on with my life. It's a real gift.
Call us at Cancer Treatment Centers of America.
The following is a paid political advertisement.
Good morning, millionaire. It's me, Mario Woodside, the independent candidate for Nassau Village, aka Sasha. And I'm gonna tell you, like my mother told me, you shall know a tree by the fruit it bears. We have all seen the fruits of both parties in the past 20 years. So this election day, think independently. Think Mario Woodside for Nassau Village.
Paid for by Mario Woodside, independent candidate for Nassau Village.
Always on the go? Missed the show? You can now listen to Guardian Radio talk shows anytime, anywhere on Spotify and YouTube by searching Guardian Radio 96.9 FM or by entering the name of your favorite show. You can also listen by logging on to GuardianTalkRadio.com and clicking on the podcast tab. Guardian Radio, continuing to provide you with fresh news and smart talk anywhere, anytime, all day.
This is Guardian Radio, your station for up-to-the-minute news, intelligent, interactive, and engaging conversation. 96.9 FM.
It's the Hit Back with Nahaja Black. It's the Hit Back with Nahaja Black. It's the Hit Back with Nahaja Black. It's the Hit Back.
And we're back. You're listening to the Hit Back with Nahaja Black, Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. My good friend C.A. Newry joining us. We're talking about swing voters, swing constituencies that go back and forth between PLP and FNM, have been doing it for the past 20 years. And so this was what makes this very interesting, this election. Are they predictors? Do they mean anything? Or can we stand on this and say that it's something there? We were just talking about one constituency, which was Carmichael, that has gone back and forth. Let me see. I got some text messages here. I want to make sure I get to these text messages. Why is it that my text is freaking out? Agree, blah, blah, blah.
And I'm glad, Nahaja, that you mentioned 20 years and not just last election.
20
this
years.
Has been a 20-year trend. Mm-hmm. And it should be considered seriously and soberly that it's a possible that it will go to the next side because of the trend.
Yeah. And someone says Long Island, East Grand Bahama also stand strong. Very true. Check the stats. Those Grand Bahama 3 have never been PLP. Those 3 seats, Nico Grant, Kenneth Russell, Maurice Moore. Don't be so Nassau-centric. Well, the only reason why I'm not mentioning Nassau right now is any other island right now is because I don't have the data sitting in front of me for the past 20 years. So I only have the data for Nassau, and I'm working on the other data as well. So it isn't intentional. I would love to be able to go through Grand Bahama, go through Long Island and Eleuthera. I don't have that data. I only can go back to last year. So I'm working on that data now. So last election is the most data that I have for family islands. And so forgive me for that. It says all the independents will split a few votes. They probably made deals with both parties. What? I don't think so. I think these independent parties are really independent.
Yes, I think they enter the long haul. You hear the rhetoric and they determine that and believe that they will win a seat.
Yeah. Someone says, I don't think any independent candidate will win. Not one?
Not one, Nahaja. Not one.
Not Mac?
Not Mac. Not Reese. No. But I believe they'll get their money back. So at least they won't be $400 in the hole. They'll just pay for the advertisements and the promotion and who else they had to pay to help them in the campaign. But at least they'll get $400 back. That's a good gesture.
I know, right? All right, I know. Some shots say, I love your shirt, Nahaja. Everything black out. South Beach needs a new MP. South Beach is a good one too. Let's go. So we've got another constituency that has been going back and forth. So the last one was Carmichael. The next one on our list is Garden Hills. Garden Hills has been a swing constituency from 2002, right? From 2002, PLP, then 2007 FNM, 2012 PLP, 2017 FNM, going back and forth, back and forth. I think, and the candidates for it, and this is what makes it interesting, Cecil. The candidates for it, and I gotta move that, and I want y'all to see who are the candidates for Garden Hills, because I think that what is so interesting is that Garden Hills, I've never seen I've never seen Garden Hills as ever having any strong position other than we just go in with who we don't like this time. And I wonder for the constituency itself, because, they say South Beach, how South Beach goes, so goes the election. I still don't understand why people say that.
No.
I feel like I still don't know why folks say so goes, whomever. Okay, so Garden Hills has, and I got all kind of things running right now, so it's kind of all over the place. So let me add
and while you're looking for that, Nahaja, I want to remind you that Garden Hills had Dr. Major last year.
Major.
Yeah, and I thought he was an excellent representative, even though he was the Speaker of the House and had limited time to take care of his constituency. I saw that he made an extra effort to be there and to know that he was caught up in the wave. And remember, there was a wave, the fatigue of the PLP and the fatigue of Perry Christie. So I think that if it wasn't for that fatigue, I think that he would have retained that seat, but we'll never know. The point is, it's now a swing constituency, and it goes back and forth. And we know that the incumbent, I'm almost sure the incumbent will not be running in that constituency again. So it'll be new faces.
Yeah. Listen, it's going to definitely be some new faces. Okay, for Garden Hills, we have running FNM Stephen Greenslade. He has a good song.
Greenslade has a good song.
PLP Mario Bowleg. I
haven't heard any song from him.
I am not familiar with Mr. Bowleg. Someone says, I'm voting in Garden Hills tomorrow, early. What is
Good
it?
for you.
Advanced polling. Good for you. Come on, shit.
Put on the shirt and tell us.
Yeah. Put on a shirt and tell us?
No, come on all the shirts and say, boy, it's a lot of yellow, a lot of red, and some green,
For the record, just to let folks know, do you know that tomorrow for advanced polling, Urka, we cannot talk politics tomorrow.
What?
Right? We cannot talk politics tomorrow because of.
I ain't coming on your show tomorrow then.
I ain't coming on my show tomorrow. What am I supposed to talk about tomorrow?
I don't know.
I don't know what I'm supposed to talk about tomorrow. I can't talk politics on the day of the advanced poll. So we've gotten the notification.
I go on Facebook and talk then. Because this ain't working. Urka don't control Facebook, right? Just making sure.
How you can't talk politics, man? We got DNA. So Garden Hills for this one is FNM Stephen Greenslade, PLP Mario Bowleg, DNA Derek Smith. No songs either. Jennifer says no songs either. Can't do songs either. Can't do any of that. Coalition of Independent Priest Rithman McKinney. Now Rithman and I were on the same commission, the Marijuana Commission, right? The Bahamas National.
The Weed Commission. Okay.
The Weed Commission. The priest. I like Rithman, man. I like Rithman. That's my boy. Go on, Garden Hills. Vote for the priest.
Yes.
I like Rithman. Independent Kareem Hanchel, right? By the way, DNA Derek Smith. He's the chairman for the Democratic National Alliance. New chairman.
Okay.
He's the new chairman. Yeah. And he was on my show the other day. We've got, someone says Mario Bowleg is a man for Garden Hills. Shad said he's voting Coy tomorrow.
Good for Shad.
Yeah, man. Independent Kareem Hanchel. If you know Kareem has been an independent, from that time, very strong in his position. And I want to look at that particular in Garden Hills. What was the outcome in Garden Hills?
But you forget to call our friend Ali McIntosh. You got to continue because Ali McIntosh is a strong force. She should get at least 12 votes.
Ali is going to get more than 12 votes, okay? You're just
14.
disrespectful. You just
14.
disrespectful.
16.
You need to get saved. Yeah. All right. Someone asked about my bookshelf. IKEA. BCP Ali McIntosh. is joining us, but she's also with Garden Hills. Independent Boykin Smith. You all remember Boykin Smith? Young boy, but he's not young. But Boykin Smith was on the youth panel.
The maestro.
Yes, but very smart dude. The Mace was not a good suggestion, but overall a very smart young man about to sit the bar, I think. And then you have KGM, Sinisha Thompson for the KGM. Let me see if that's all the candidates, because Garden Hills look pretty full. And then you have someone called Pacino Sherman who has no photo. Okay, so we've got Stephen Greenslade, Mario Bolag for the Greenslade for the F&M, Mario Bolag for the PLP. DNA is Derek Smith. Coalition of Independents is Rithman McKinney, Priest Rithman. Independent, Kareem Hanchel. Bahamas Coalition Party, I think so. BCP, Ali McIntosh. She's been on the show many times. Independent candidate, Boykin Smith. And the KGM candidate, Sinisha Thompson, along with Pacino Sherman, who I don't know what party he's with. So those are the persons running for Garden Hills. But Garden Hills has gone back and forth. And I would say that Garden Hills is probably going to go back and forth again. I think they're going back and forth. What do you think?
And because there's no incumbent, it's hard to call, right? So the people there would now need to vote in their best interests and to compare both major political parties and the independent, of course, and say, well, this one is better or this one's platform is better. But I think that Garden Hills will remain a swing constituency. I think that if the PLP and the F&M want it, they would need to campaign on the ground. I would say the edge right now is for the F&M because his name is out more, right? You're familiar with Greenslade because he ran in the DNA, his profession also. And Mario, I forget the last name again, will now have to play catch up. If he wants to win it, he needs to be on the ground. He needs to get his name out there. And he also needs a song. If he doesn't have a song, he cannot win.
But the thing is, though, again, these constituencies are going back and forth, right? What is it about the angst of it? 2002, we know 2012 was Ingram that they ousted. 2017 was Perry Christie they ousted. So we're going back and forth. So is it just to vote out a when your displeasure? And thank you, Shirley. I love you too. Appreciate you. What is this displeasure? And that's what makes it so interesting. Dana says, CA, no song, no vote. I would you.
That's how I look at it. But and in truth, this is where the social scientists, University of the Bahamas, should have come in and analyzed the data and see exactly what is it that the Bahamian people are trying to say. There has to be a narrative, and the narrative cannot just be we voting people out. It has to be more to that. What frustration, what angst is happening that causing these people to say, man, I'm tired of this. I want more. What exactly is it that these people want, right? We continue to vote for Bahamians, so it cannot be a nationalistic view. It has to be more of a service-oriented, doing something for the community. And is it on a local base, making politics local, or is it on a national base where people saying that your platform needs to be broader and touching everybody, and that question needs to be answered also.
Someone says we're not stuck on F&M and PLP. This is just the reality. PLP and F&M have won this constituency or these constituencies over the past 20 years. So that's what the data shows. Great point here, Nahaja. Don't forget that numerous constituencies are disproportionate. The number of eligible voters has skyrocketed to nearly 9,000 in some constituencies in New Providence. Hence, the Speaker of the House wanted to present the boundaries report. Exactly. So we didn't have the Boundaries Commission. Right. So we didn't have them do their job. And actually, we should not have gone, I believe, into this election without making sure that the boundaries, that each constituency was fair. One constituency shouldn't have more than 4,000 people, 5,000 people. 4,000, I think, is the number. And we have some that are 5,000, almost 6,000. And the Speaker wanted to present the boundaries report to have boundaries changed to the constituencies to have maximum of 5,000 voters per constituency. Also, we have a permanent register with now nearly 200,000 voters. So the so-called polling is being done is off. That's interesting as well. So I thought that was a good point, that these constituencies are changing. They have changed. Some will have more people than others. For the record of Garden Hills last election, Kendall Major had 37%, former speaker. My good friend, Doc. Doc is a good friend, same church, love that guy. So Doc is a family friend, great individual, high character fellow. Kendall lost 37, but he had 37% of the vote. Brenzel Roll of the Free National Movement, who's not running anymore, 54, almost 55% of the vote. Newry Kemp, who was with the DNA, got almost 7%. Ali McIntosh has done this before, and she got less than 6.6%. So less than 1% of the vote. Rodney Curry of the BNCP, my God, moving on, just like full on, that deposit, they burned that money anyways. That was just, but I believe Ali got it. Ali got it this time.
Yeah. And mind you, if you look at the BCP, I try to pronounce the Bahamas Christian Constitutional Party. We saw them into the debate. They had great debaters. We saw their platform.
Content is strong with them, man. They got good stuff.
Their platform it can be compared to the PLP and the FNUN's platform. It means some innovative ideas, doable ideas, plausible ideas. So we need to show appreciation to them. Clearly, if there was local government in New Providence, that particular party would be on top because of the trailblazing impact they're doing now. It must commend Ali McIntosh and the ground she has been making, the candidates she's been selecting, the platform she's been developing over the years, and it's something to be commended about, especially, and for lack of a better word, and forgive me for saying this, especially for a female leader of a party. You know, we look at politics being male dominated, and for a woman to carve out a spot and have a following that she has, despite the numbers of how people are supporting her, she is doing a remarkable job, and she should be commended.
Ali, I'm just for the fact of her persistence in the position that she's led, and plus being a leader of her party. The first female leader of a political party was Ali McIntosh. Not Madam Orinthia Kumalafe. She's the second. Ali McIntosh was the first female leader of a political party. And I think that is something to be commended completely. All right, we have to take a break. We got to start for news. When we come back, we've got quite a few more constituencies to get through, so we're going to run through them a little faster than we are right now, CA. But of course, this is what we're talking about today. Constituencies that go back and forth between PLP and FNM. This has been their trend. Swing constituencies, they call them. Will we see the coat of many colors that Apostle Benjamin Smith spoke about? I'm actually looking forward to coat of many colors season. Where will there be a coat? Where will there be a breakthrough candidate? We'll be back after this. You're listening to The Hit Back with Nahaja Black, Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. We'll be back.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, Nassau, Bahamas.
You're listening to the Guardian News Network. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Taylor Ferguson. Here's what's making news. Thank you for tuning in. Well, one day before the advanced poll, two independent candidates say holding a snap election in the middle of the worst chapter of the COVID-19 pandemic without outlining safety protocols is a recipe for disaster. Independent candidates Halson Moultrie and Reese Chipman are both predicting chaos at the polls.
I expect a lot of confusion. I expect mayhem because that is the nature of this administration.
You're going to have mass confusion and chaos because there's nothing in print.
According to the Parliamentary Registration Department, 30,000 people are registered to vote in the advanced poll tomorrow. Well, this election is happening amid a devastating surge in COVID-19 cases, and former Health Minister Dr. Dwayne Sands is warning that things are going to get worse before they get any better. On Tuesday, the Ministry of Health revealed there were 162 COVID-19 deaths confirmed since August 1st. Sands says the country is in a dreadful place.
I would have operated on 6 COVID patients in the space of 24 hours yesterday. I had to operate on another 5 today. And that gives an idea of the severity of the problem. It's never been this busy before, not with COVID. But almost exclusively now, it's COVID care.
The Bahamas Public Services Union threatening to interrupt services at Princess Margaret Hospital and London Pending International Airport if government does not respond to its concerns by the end of the day. Union President Kingsley Ferguson said they're facing a myriad of issues, some of which date back to 2015. Some of these issues include outstanding industrial agreements, hazard pay, and uniform allowances.
We are here to suggest today to the government of the Bahamas and to the PHA and to the Airport Authority, if it takes shutting down to get these things done, then that is exactly what we intend to do. They did something for BPL, they're going to do it for these people. And so their services are just as significant or even more significant than that of BPL.
That's what's making news. I'm Taylor Ferguson. AP News is coming up next.
Tired of banks forcing you to use technology to bank the way they want you to? Your convenience is important. So no matter what your banking needs, Commonwealth Bank's friendly staff are always available in branch for that personal one-on-one service. But when you choose technology, our online and mobile banking app offers you state-of-the-art functionality. The choice is yours. Commonwealth Bank. Bank the way you want.
Hospitals are collapsing. Doctors say our healthcare system is past the breaking point. Nurses disrespected. Not enough beds or resources. Now, this government failed to disclose who's really benefiting from millions in COVID contracts, hiding who profits from travel visas, from food assistance, from COVID testing fees. So while healthcare collapsed, who got rich? The FNM can't fix the crisis. They are the crisis.
This has been a paid political announcement by the PLP.
Have you heard about the COVID vaccine raffle? If you are vaccinated against COVID-19, you can enter to win amazing prizes like food store gift certificates, hotel stays, beach excursions, and so much more. Even if you are previously vaccinated, you can still enter to win. The COVID vaccine is free, safe, and protects you from severe COVID-19 infections. Don't delay. Get vaccinated today and enter to win. Visit www.pafbahamas.com to register.
Coronavirus update. I'm Ed Donahue with an AP News Minute. Stocks finished lower. The Dow down 68 points. The U.S. recorded more than 26,000 deaths and more than 4.2 million infections in August. The number of monthly positive coronavirus cases was the 4th highest total since the start of the pandemic. Overall, the outbreak is still well below the all-time peaks reached over the winter. World Health Organization leader Dr. Tedros Adhanom Ghebreyesus wants rich countries with large supplies of coronavirus vaccines to hold back from offering booster shots through the end of the year.
We don't want any more promises. We just want the vaccines.
He says an earlier request has largely fallen on deaf ears. A judge in Florida ruled the state cannot enforce its ban on mask mandates in public schools to guard against the coronavirus, while an appeals court sorts out whether the ban is ultimately legal. Governor Ron DeSantis says he's optimistic the state would prevail. I'm Ed Donahue.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
You have to be strong in today's world. Keep your focus and what you believe in, how to achieve all your dreams. Keep moving forward, never accept less than who you are. Live your best life. Be strong and free. It's the Hit Back with Nahaja Black. It's the Hit Back with Nahaja Black. It's the Hit Back with Nahaja.
And we're back. You're listening to the Hit Back with Nahaja Black, Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Joining me on the show is my good friend C.A. Newry. We're talking about swing votes, swing voters, swing constituencies, those constituencies that have been going back and forth for the past 20 years, between F&M and PLP, term after term after term. Which constituency do you live in? What is your feeling in this as you look at your constituencies? The first two we've had is Carmichael constituency and the Garden Hills constituency. Up next would be Mount Moriah. Mount Moriah swing constituency, and this information, we're getting this information from Spectrum Politics, where they shared this information, and we're looking at the history, of course, 2002 PLP, 27 F&M, 2012 PLP, 2017 F&M, a back and forth between the two major parties. In this constituency, though, we have, and these are the candidates running for that constituency. We've got the incumbent, Marvin Dames, right? And I got to put it on the screen. We've got the incumbent, Marvin Dames, for the Free National Movement. We've got PLP, Mikkel Barnaby. We've got the DNA, I think she's the chair of their COVID task force, Dr. Carneal Farquharson. She did the debate when we did the debates. Then you've got Samuel Strawn, who I believe is an independent, and I think he was an independent on one of the Family Islands, but a really strong character gentleman who's been really working on that vein for a long time. Coalition of Independent candidate Jacqueline McKinsey. I don't know, but I like the name. That's the family name. Stephen Surratt, I think also an independent as well. So we've got, this is our lineup for Mount Moriah, but before we do that, let's get this caller real quick. Caller, you're on the line.
Good afternoon. How are you?
I'm well. Is this my good friend Glenn Roll?
This is Glenn Roll. This is Glenn Roll. I had another good friend of ours call me to say they're talking about Carmichael, and I thought I would find a way to call in and see what the conversation is about Carmichael. I see you have my good friend, my lookalike, C.A. along with you, and I'm wondering why he's not a part of my team,
The Grand Commonwealth, is it the Grand Commonwealth Party that you're with, Glenn Roll and Carmichael?
Yes, I am the candidate for the Grand Commonwealth Party, but I think you can appreciate Nahaja, the extent to which I've been a voice. I've been out there in the public space discussing issues. I'm a resident of Carmichael, and of course that means I have an interest of what goes on within the context of our community.
Okay, so because of course now, no candidates can't talk about anything on the show unless you'll, pay the toll. I got
you, but since you brought in Carmichael, I thought that I would lend to the perspective that you bring, because I do think you have an important role. I would have seen you in multiple places, and I do think that people listen to you to get a sense of what the temperature is, what the gauge is, and notwithstanding the statistics that you have, I do think the question is, did those 20 years of evolving bring us finally to the place where we want to begin afresh, where we want to look in a new direction?
Yes, and what do you think? What do you think, Glenn?
I think we're at that pause, Nahaja. I think when you ask the question of where the nation is, COVID-19, Doreen, the government's response, I think people really at a place where they ask, do I go back to a PLP? We know we don't want this regime. We are seeing how what they demonstrate and what they do when faced with challenges. We've seen the extent to which they choose, for an example, sidewalk over the welfare of people. And people legitimately ask themselves, will Brave Davis bring a new kind of leadership, a new direction? And so, yes, I would have preferred all of the independent third parties gather together. But notwithstanding, I think we have to credit the Bahamian people that they can look through a list of persons and determine who will be that voice, who will bring that kind of leadership. And by virtue of me being in this area, I do believe that I not only have a record of service, but I believe that over time people will hear that we can very well look for representation by way of a Glenn role. We have a history of it, whether it be as chairman of the police association, whether it be as a local pastor, whether it be as a community activist. I have.
Glenn, I gotta let you go, Glenn. They could cut you up, so I better let you go.
Into political arena, but all
I love you.
We have about 40% of the people who
I gotta cut you, Glenn. I gotta cut you because again, you gotta pay the toll. But I feel you. Call Janet Lees. Call Janet Lees in sales, and Janet will hook you up and get you your spot on the show.
And Glenn should embrace it because Glenn is good people. I mean, he's
good people.
Michael, but definitely Glenn needs some time on the radio to explain what his points are. So time to pay the toll, and I think you'll have 15-minute slots, 30-minute slots. You need to embrace and take advantage before the election. There's only 8 good days. Only 8 good days. Time to take
advantage. They gone, so you only got 7 or 6. You can't even count election days. Only 6 good days, and really, how many on air? Thursday. You can't do it tomorrow. So it's Friday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. 4.
You need to take advantage of our song day. Fridays, come try get in on our song day, and come with a song.
Come with a song. Mount Moriah. All right, so we know Mount Moriah is a swing one, right? It goes back and forth, PLP, F&M. Do you see a candidate where, and we got another call on the line, but do you see a candidate for Mount Moriah that stands out for you? We know Marvin Dames is the incumbent. We have the PLP, Mikhail Barnaby. I like the DNA candidate, Dr. Carneal Farquharson. I really do.
Farquharson is a good candidate.
And
it's good to see powerful women who can stand shoulder to shoulder with these men. And any political party could seek her out and say, well, she's a good candidate to send for. So she's someone to look at.
Yeah, I definitely like Dr. Carneal Farquharson. Someone says Mikhail Barnaby. I'm not familiar. Y'all got to send me. Are you familiar with Mikhail Barnaby, Cecil?
No, I'm not.
Yeah, I'm not either. All right, we got a call on the line. Call, you're on the hit back. Welcome.
Yes, good afternoon. How are you?
I'm well, and you?
Wonderful. I'm calling in from the inner city, deep inside. We cannot wait for next week, Thursday. Okay, you're doing every constituency. Have you done St. Barnabas?
Not yet. St. Barnabas isn't on the list for today, but we got a lot. We got to hit them up.
Yeah, that is high quality. Okay, you've got a minister of finance and waiting to join that cabinet with Glennis Hannah Martin. Okay, but we've got to do what we've got to do. Our MP is a good MP. Shannon Doyle is good, but his leader got to go where he got to go. You see, but all in all, too, you know about Mr. Dames and this I'm thinking about the people with the COVID. We can fix that, Don't forget, we fixed the immigration where we had the magistrate court and took it down to the Nahaja, and the people was sent back to Haiti. Well, we can fix something too for the COVID people.
Thank you so much, Carla. Appreciate the contribution. I'm not certain where we were going there, but in terms of quarantining, I think that's probably where he was going there. All right, so we got Mount Moriah has been that constituency that has gone back and forth. The candidates for Mount Moriah, can I just say I'm so proud of our this 2021 election period. I really am. Look at the strength of the list of the amount of parties, not just but parties that have come up and say, hey, we want a chance. And I remember when the DNA was like that only third option. And now you have independents singularly who are strong. Like the gentleman I had on yesterday, Mario Woodside for Nassau Village.
I like strong. Mario Woodside. I didn't know that he was that strong.
Man, he's strong. I like that guy for Nassau.
And I know him in his professional name, Sasha Dunn. And to know that Mario Woodside and Sasha Dunn is the same person, I got excited saying I got to look at at his whole campaign.
Yeah, man. There's some really strong. I am so proud of us in this election season. I won't lie to you. I'm so proud of the many Bahamians who are saying, listen, I'm putting my name in the ring, and I'm doing this as an individual. I don't even need a party. I'm standing up and saying that I can represent you. And I think that we as Bahamians also have to take a look at each person in your constituency and decide what is best for you, who's speaking your language in this race. But I will say this. Community, like you said, we need local government, because some folks should start in local government before they talk about run a country. I will be frank with that too.
Yes,
I'll
definitely.
be frank with that.
And this constituency is something to watch. I think that this is going to be one on the ground, even though Marvin Deem is popular, right? I think that it is his to lose. I'm not familiar with the PLP's candidate at all, so he would need to become a national figure and campaign differently if he wants to topple Marvin Deem.
I don't even think it's that serious. I actually don't believe that we necessarily, I would hope that now we do, but I don't believe that necessarily now we are going to be voting for who we know. Like, I think, let's be honest.
We still voting parties.
Is Marvin Deem so beloved, considering that we know that this constituency goes back and forth? Is Mr. Deem so beloved or done something so wonderful that they will look and say, I know Marvin over Mikel Barnaby, or I know Marvin Deems over Dr. Carneal Farquharson, or Sammy Strawn, or Jacqueline McKenzie, or Stephen Surratt, and that's why I'm going to choose them. I think that people choose what party they're going with, or who they feel is more competent. And with vengeance, people choose with vengeance too.
And I hear you, and I agree. But however, Marvin Deems has a record, and I believe that the constituency, which is in quotes, an educated and exposed constituency, they're part of that southern corridor also, or which have a discerning constituents who look and compare persons. I think that they will judge Marvin Deems on his record. And there have been a number of accomplishments that his ministry has done, right? He have lowered.
Do they?
But in terms of him being a minister, then we go to his constituency, which tends not to be. It's not a working class constituency, but it is a constituency which has makeup of middle class Bahamians who tend to be independent of government, right? And I think that because of it's an independent thinking constituency, they'll be looking at the Marvin Deem's record on what he has accomplished in his professional realm, and comparing it to the PLP's candidate, the DNA's candidate, and the coalition's candidate, and say, well, when you compare them, who will be the better one? I also want to say, before you moved on, one must also commend the COI, the coalition party, of how many women they have put forward. To see so many women interested in politics and taking that step is also commendable. It shows that, there's a narrative that women are not interested in politics. Clearly, that is not the case, and that senior parties need to make more room to include women, because clearly there are women, competent women, right? Because you see, Dr. Farquharson is clearly competent. Kumalafe is clearly competent. They need to make space to include these women inside their platform and their party.
Yeah. Someone says Dames has been on the ground for that area for the past 4.5 years. Someone says, just get rid of Dames. That's all. So again, I think the constituents, and this is one of those constituencies that goes back and forth. PLP, FNM, PLP, FNM. Mary says, Coy made me proud for the amount of women they are running. You're right?
Yes.
That's something that's very interesting there.
And I want to give out a shout out to Dames regarding his Zoom raffle. I mean, I didn't win nothing, maybe because I didn't live in the constituency, but I mean, they had some good gifts.
Well, I like Zoom. I mean, I like raffles. I
like free things. You know me. I like a free things, and he gave out a lot of free things.
You always like free things. I don't even know how this happened. Like, who are you? We got another constituency marathon. And I know we got to go to break, so we'll start with this. Let's right before we go to break. Another swing constituency is marathon, back and forth. 20. So this again, and you're seeing the data shows PLP, FNM, PLP, FNM, 2002 to now. PLP, FNM, PLP, FNM will marathon with its slate of candidates, and we'll talk about it. Who are the candidates for a marathon this year? Back and forth. And I want, and the reason why we're doing this is to say, okay, is this a trend? Is this a trend? Is this what we consider trending? And I think it's an indictment that we have yet to be pleased with the government for the past 20 years, right? I think that is also an indictment that we have not found any sort of rest in terms of the quality of a party for the past 20 years, that we keep going back and forth. Or is it that we don't know what we want? Or is it that we do and we just can't find it? So let's talk about that. But the candidates for marathon, who will be the unfortunate, is the incumbent and unfortunate soul in this constituency? You're listening to the Hit Back with Nahaja Black, Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. We will be back right after this.
Insurance agents are the best. Reliable service, we've been on the scene, protecting since 1919. J.S. Johnson Insurance has the test. Always covering me. J.S. Johnson Insurance, peace of mind.
When I got prostate cancer, my family didn't know if I was going to live. At Cancer Treatment Centers of America, within days, I got an appointment. They presented me with treatment options, and they set up a robotic prostatectomy. When my scans came back, there are no signs of cancer. They don't see you as a number, they see you as a part of the family. I'm going on with my life. That's a real gift.
Call us at Cancer Treatment Centers of America.
Hello, Bahamas. My name is Dr. Dwayne Sands. I was born and raised in Centerville, in the heart of the valley, Nassau, Bahamas. I'm a proud Bahamian. I've been fortunate to represent the great people of Elizabeth for the last 5 years. It has always been my dream to serve my country, and I have been involved in the political process on the front line since 2009. I am very, very proud of the support of my family, who have been with me from the beginning and who are still with me to this day. In particular, my wife, Larica, and all of my children. And actually, there's quite a few of them. I'm actually a cardiovascular surgeon. What that means is I take on the sickest people with the biggest problems every day. And so for me, the political process to deal with the challenges facing our country is pretty much par for the course. It's what I do every day. I am happy to be a part of the great team of the Free National Movement under the leadership of Dr. Hubert Minnis. We are indeed Elizabeth Strong.
This has been a paid political announcement by the FNM candidate for Elizabeth.
At a time when jobs are hard to find, crime is a concern, and Bahamians are uncertain about the future of the country, there is one paper you can rely on as your source of news and commentary. The Nassau Guardian delves deeper into the issues. We ask the tough questions. We tell your stories. If you haven't already, pick up a copy today. The Nassau Guardian. News and views that matter since 1844.
This is Guardian Radio, your station for up-to-the-minute news, intelligent, interactive, and engaging conversation. 96.9 FM.
It's the Hit Back with Nahaja Black. It's the Hit Back with Nahaja Black. It's the Hit Back with Nahaja Black. It's the Hit Back with Nahaja Black.
And we're back You're listening to the Hit Back with Nahaja Black, Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. We are talking with my good friend C.A. Newry about these swing constituencies. Up next is the swing constituency, CA. When we were leaving, we were talking about Marathon. Marathon has gone back and forth from 2002 to 2017. PLP, F&M, PLP, F&M. All right. We have for Marathon the infamous line of, 2 words, 1 go, but I'm sure he's done wonderful things other than that in this constituency. Mr. Romuald Ferreira, Romy Ferreira, as he's known, affectionately called, right? We have the PLP candidate, Lisa Ramming. By the way, she has a song. I got a song for Lisa Ramming.
Oh, we got to hear Lisa's song then.
All right, we got to hear Lisa's song. Then we have the DNA candidate, Zacchaeus Glass. Coalition. Okay, can I just stop right there? Zacchaeus has the meanest name, okay? The meanest name. I don't even know how that name came about, but I like it. Zacchaeus. First of all, Zacchaeus. Then the last name Glass. I just like it. Just for the record. Someone says, Lisa Ramin looking good. Coalition of Independent. Aisha Claire. I know Miss Claire. She's been on our show before. I think we did a Saturday when we were doing our Saturday show. She joined us. A very good person. Happy for her, former teacher. And has some good issues, I think, that'll come forward, right, in this time. BCP, Brian McCarty, not familiar with him. United Coalition Movement candidate, Raquel Horton. I just went to her Facebook page. It said something about Miss Bahamas 2004. If that's the case, then we have 4 Miss Bahamas candidates, right? Like, just for the record, that's something to... Who do we have?
And that was not highlighted, no. And it should have been highlighted as so many beauty contestants, professional women, because normally all of them get scholarships and go abroad as part of their platform. And to know that they come home and want to serve. And they all should have been brought on and interviewed as former beauty pageant contestants and why they see the need to serve. And
who are the 4? Let's go with the 4. We have... of course, Rashay Sands.
Yes.
We've got Leah Bryce. We've got Michelle Malcolm.
More than 4 then.
Yeah. We have Miss Raquel Horton, if her Facebook page is correct, and saying 2004.
And then Pia Glover was in modeling. She had a modeling agency.
That's right, Pia Glover role. And I think she was also in Miss Teen Bahamas. Not Miss Bahamas, but I think Miss Teen Bahamas.
That's 5, I think you counted just now.
Yeah. So look at us go. Huh? Beauty and brains, boo. Beauty and brains.
I would have loved to have
Fontella Chipman as an independent. That's also true. Fontella Chipman.
She was a beauty pageant also. Good for her.
Yeah.
That's 6.
Charmaine Lindsay also for the BDM United Coalition.
Also 7 beauty contestants. I need to write those names down.
You need to write it down. I think this is pretty cool. Can I just say I'm so proud of us as women? This is pretty cool.
Yes, this is definitely a year for women, and the women organizations need to celebrate, and they need to highlight these women, and the beauty industry also need to highlight that the type of quality persons they have put out, that they actually sought position in government, and that says a lot for young women who goes through beauty pageants and where they can aspire and end up.
Yeah, just for the record, we also have the Grand Commonwealth Party candidate, Stella Thompson. Now, can I just say, Grand Commonwealth Party has no photos. No, I don't know. Grand Commonwealth Party, you got to do better. If you say party, show up, please. Can't even see who these candidates are for a party that just started.
Perhaps we need to reach out to them. Is there a chairman or leader of this particular party? And so we could inbox and send some things.
Yeah. I mean, it would be great, but of course, now there's a toll, right? I can't even bring them on to get to know you.
But for your program for election night, you got to have someone face the show. You can't have this empty spot.
You got to have a face to show, right? So these women used to be in competition. They're used to competition, beauty and brains. Yep. So this is Marathon. So Marathon now, the incumbent is Romy Ferreira, Minister of Environment and Housing. He's had a rough go of it. I think a lot of folks would I personally thought there would be a bigger stance with regard to our environment, that we would have had better results out of the ministry, that particular ministry, with regards to the environment, and it's left me wanting with Mr. Ferreira's work in that ministry. But however, there has been some movement. I know we did something that I liked and I appreciated, which was really trying to bring legislation in or copywriting infrastructure for research that's done in the Bahamas. And I think that's very important, right? So kudos to them with that. But so that's Romy Ferreira, Lisa Ramming for the PLP, Zacchaeus Glass for the DNA, Aisha Clare, Coalition, BCP, Brian McCarty, UCM, Raquel Horton, GCP, Stella Thompson. Someone says they think that it'll go gold. I think it goes back. I do think that this constituency will go back to the PLP. I don't see much fighting in this one. Your thoughts on that? I think it's going to go back.
I've seen the campaign of Miss Lisa Ramming. I mean, she working hard, but it all depends. It's for the incumbent to lose. It's for the incumbent to lose. Romy is an experienced politician now. He has the ministry as a feather behind his back. I think that him having experience on what it takes to win will cause this one to go to the hilt. But I take note of Lisa Ramming, and we shall see at the end. And big shout out again to Miss Claire, because I believe she's also a good candidate, and I just want to commend her.
She's a strong candidate, yeah.
Yes,
I think she's a strong candidate.
I'm familiar with Miss Horton also.
Yeah, and I think from just looking at it realistically, I do believe that Miss Ramming will end up coming out there the victor for Marathon. I just looking at it.
Prediction of yours.
Yeah, that's my prediction there for that constituency. I think it will be going to Miss Ramming.
And I know you have some calls, but I'm willing to bet on conch salad over that.
Let's go. Let's bet conch salad on this constituency. Yeah. I will call this constituency for Lisa Ramming. I've never met her before, but knowing this constituency,
no, she's
I think
a powerful lady.
She's
a powerful lady. Definitely a powerful lady.
Oh yeah,
man. You need to have a conversation with her, and she'll move you. But like I said, I'm willing to bet some money on that. No, a conch salad, because we can't bet no money.
Conch salad, be saved. But I want tropical, please.
Tropical.
Yeah, and I want it from that one. I want it from the place all the way down by what's the colorful place? The colorful place out west, man. You go Compass Point. I want it by that one.
Oh, go from Compass Point.
Compass Point.
Look like we gotta sit down and eat that.
Yeah. No, we gotta sit down and eat that, right? Because I gotta sit outside. COVID serious. So I want my conch salad, and I want that on Saturday of next week.
Saturday of next week.
This one going to Lisa.
Yes.
That's it. Poor Romy. No offense.
If Lisa wins, we'll add extra mangoes on it to make that yellow show.
Extra.
Yeah.
So once it tastes good, man. Once it tastes good.
Conch salad bet.
All right. So then we have the next constituency, right? So the next constituency that has proven to be, I think, very well, this one is in Battleground. This was by request. So this one, for those who are watching, it has been a request, and we're going to do this one. But this one is not a Battleground. This one has predominantly leaned in a particular direction. And I'm just going to do it because it's been requested that we go through that constituency for someone who's following the show. And so we're going to do this particular constituency. That does, I think, the data says that Fort Charlotte constituency, the data shows that it leans gold, right? They have voted for the PLP from 2002, 2007, 2012, and voted out the last member of parliament. And I want to go to that data. The last member of parliament for Fort Charlotte. Do you remember who that was, Cecil? Fort Charlotte.
My boy from the NDP. My boy from the NDP. Dr. Rollins.
Rollins, yeah. Rollins, but
of course, National Development Party.
What's Rollins?
I can show the plug.
Because I'm looking at the data. It says Alfred Sayers ran.
He ran and lost.
He ran. Alfred Sayers ran. Mark Humes ran. Alfred Sayers had, and this was not by a large. The loss wasn't as large as some other places. Fox Hill was very close, by the way. That loss in Fox Hill was very close. Alfred Sayers lost. He had 41% of the vote. Mark Humes had 54% of the vote. Mark Humes, we know the incumbent is no longer running. He's been dethroned. Dramico Archer will be running in that constituency for the Free National Movement. And Alfred Sayers for the Progressive Liberal Party is back, right? Fontella Chipman, y'all. Fontella is just, I just love her soul, man. It's Fontella is a lioness.
She's committed for Fort Charlotte. You must give her that.
Fontella is a lioness. I appreciate that woman in my soul, the way she is not relenting. You gotta love it. You know, I really do appreciate that. So then let's take a look at the persons in Fort Charlotte, because Fort Charlotte got a lot of people too. Can I just say Fort Charlotte got a lot of folks who are running in this constituency. So let's take a look at who's running in Fort Charlotte and your thoughts on it, because I'm only doing this. So this is not a battleground. This one ain't a swing. I don't consider this a swing at all. I think it probably will go back to the PLP, go back into the PLP column. But let's look at all of the candidates running, and then you tell me, right?
I must say that the FNM selected a good candidate to run against the likes of Alfred Sayers, because before then it was like a no contest, and the idea that they got a Dramico Archer to run caused people to step back and to reconsider. So right now Alfred Sayers is ahead, but you got to understand that Dramico Archer is a sportsman and he's a scrapper. So that means that he will not relent and that he will do whatever it takes to overtake. So it's something to watch. It's something to watch.
Yeah. Someone says the media don't even want to recognize or acknowledge Lincoln being but listen, I don't even, but sometimes I have to just put, you know, just to help them out. But seriously, like what? Like
what?
Really? Yeah. All right. So we got for Fort Charlotte, we've got Dramico Archer, FNM, PLP, Alfred Sayers, Coalition of Independent, Daphne Johnson. I want to get to know Daphne Johnson. Can I just say I really do love the fact that Coalition got all these women in it.
Yes,
and they
it's something to commend them for.
Photos. I mean, they have great photos. They look great. United Coalition Movement, Nelda Fox. I spoke with Nelda Fox. I think I had on my show before with the BDM. So now Bahamas Democratic Movement is now Coalition, United Coalition. Sharp lady. Independent Fontella Chipman role. I love Fontella Chipman. I think she is just splendiferous, right? And then we have Angela Cox. I gather Ms. Cox is an independent. And then we have Percival Roberts. So we don't have anything ascribed to them. So I would think that they are also independent, but we don't have it noted here. So we have in Fort Charlotte, FNM Dramico Archer, PLP Alfred Sayers, Coalition of Independent, Daphne Johnson, UCM Nelda Fox, independent, Fontella Chipman Roll, Angela Cox, as I gather, another independent, and Percival Roberts. I don't want to assume that everybody without a photo is the Grand Commonwealth Party. So I'm just going to say that that's that. But Fort Charlotte, what do you think?
I'm noting how many women is contesting the seat for Fort Charlotte. It makes me smile. And you know, I get excited just the idea that women wants to be involved. It shows the direction of the country. Clearly, women see that something is wrong. Something is wrong with how our country is moving, and they are now prepared to put their shoulder to the wheel and contribute. And I think the major parties again needs to make room for them, or there needs to be some kind of system where they can matriculate into the major political arm of our country. But definitely, it's something to be smile about. It's something to be proud about as Bahamians. And I'm very much impressed to see so many women involved in politics and want to make a difference.
Yeah. Someone a text says, people choose candidates based on name. If not, Wilcombe wouldn't have gotten the nomination for Weston and Bimini or Mitchell and Fox Hill. Very true. Very true.
Fox Hill wanted Mitchell though, and
Foxhillians love Fred Mitchell. I got my cousin in Fox Hill.
Weston wanted O.B. Wilcombe. It is what it is.
I heard that was a little bit of disgruntled and stuff too, though. It wasn't no clean.
It wasn't disgruntledness.
It was a fight up in there.
But when that overwhelming cry that him or else, the people relent. Him or else.
Listen, there was also that cry with that same Archer seat in Fort Charlotte for the F&M. And that was for another candidate, not even for Humes. It was him or the Secretary General, I think. What's his name? And the else didn't work. They ended up with Jamaica Archer. So that didn't work either. But people choose for name recognition. I think their better days are behind them, but because of name, they got the nomination. Oh, yeah. I think that's something. I think that's something there that because of name recognition and the weight in the party. But will they win the constituency? Fred is going to win. What is Fred's thing? Better days ahead with Fred?
Yeah.
Fred Mitchell got a different slogan altogether. Okay. A new day. Better days ahead with Fred. All right. Next constituency, we've got Nassau Village. So we've gone through. Nassau Village is actually a swing constituency, right? Nassau Village is actually a swing constituency because it has done the same. It has done the same back and forth. And it has interesting candidates, in particular, 3 that I think is interesting. And I want to get your thoughts on it. Nassau Village has gone back and forth, Cecil. Nicole Martin for the Free National Movement. For the PLP, Jamal Strawn. You're not familiar with him. So someone who is, let me know. Oh, we got to do a break. And we'll see. Let's see before we go. We have DNA's Early Ferguson. I had her on the show. DNA's Early Ferguson. I liked her. Coalition of Independent, Jason Gibson. Good-looking fellow. Independent, Mario Woodside. Had him on the show. Love Mario. Gotta go. I like Mario. Mario's my guy. And of course, now United Coalition Movement member, former Free National Movement candidate, then turned independent speaker, the one and only D. Halson Moutry. What a time. What do you think? Will Nicole Martin and her understanding of the community help her to win that seat, which was once held by an F&M, then turned independent? Will the independent Mario Woodside have that sway? Does the DNA have a chance? What about Coalition? What about House of Moutry? Hold that thought. I see you thinking. We got to take a break. Hold that thought. You're listening to the Hit Back with Nahaja Black, Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. We will be back right after this.
Sugar, let's get sugary. Softer, smoother, and amazing skin. Oh, sugar, we're the sugar ladies. Giving you skin soft as a baby's. Goodbye hair, we'll take good care of you.
Come visit us at Bahar Treat Spa on East Bay Street. Contact us at 323-6711. Or visit us online at www.baharetreat.com.
Hospitals are collapsing. Doctors say our healthcare system is past the breaking point. Nurses disrespected. Not enough beds or resources. Now, this government failed to disclose who's really benefiting from millions in COVID contracts, hiding who profits from travel visas, from food assistance, from COVID testing fees. So while healthcare collapsed, who got rich? The F&M can't fix the crisis. They are the crisis.
This has been a paid political announcement by the PLP.
Looking for a roomy SUV that's affordable? Take a look at the new Chevrolet Traverse. It seats up to 8 and is ranked best in class for cargo space. Its spacious interior design offers the latest features to keep you and your family entertained. What's more, you'll get up to a 5-year, 100,000-kilometer factory warranty along with Chevrolet's superior engineering and safety record. So, test drive the new Chevrolet Traverse today at Nassau Motor Company on Shirley Street, where standards are higher.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
It's the Hit Back with Nahaja Black. It's the Hit Back.
welcome to the Hit Back with Nahaja Black, Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. My good friend C.A. Newry joining me. We are talking about these swing constituencies. So far, we've done Carmichael, Garden Hills. And when we say swing constituency, CA, we mean, of course, constituencies that have gone back and forth between PLP, F&M over the past 20 years, from 2002 to 2017. Carmichael, Garden Hills, Mount Moriah, Marathon, and they all end this cycle. If the pattern repeats, Cecil, if the pattern repeats, the cycle says PLP. Because 2002, we see PLP, 2007 F&M, 2012 PLP, 2017 F&M. Will the pattern repeat, and will it be the PLP, or will we see some surprises? Will some of these independents surprise us, gather a lot more votes, and cause the pattern to be broken? Will an independent cause the whole thing to shift? We're on Nassau Village now, and we have another constituency. But real quick, your thoughts on Nassau Village. Nicole Martin, Jamal Strawn for the PLP, Zerlene Ferguson for the DNA, Jason Gibson for the Coalition of Independents, Mario Woodside, met him yesterday, love that guy, independent for Nassau Village, and of course, the former speaker, Halson Mutri for the United Coalition Movement. Your thoughts, CA?
And I believe that Mario and the speaker, Mutri, will determine who wins this particular seat. I think that each one of these two candidates will be able to pull significant amount of support that will either secure Nicole Martin or secure Strawn. So it should be interesting to see the dynamics of them. I think right now Nicole is ahead. She is ahead, but we'll see at the end. We'll see at the end how it.
Why do you say that Nicole is ahead?
Because besides living in the community, she has a record and a recognizable name and face that people can align themselves with. I believe that Strawn needs to do the better job to making himself seen, to be absorbed.
You don't think the speaker has a chance? You don't think the speaker has a chance at all?
Chance to do what?
To win. Because you say the name recognition, but none is bigger than Halson Mutri and name recognition.
This election is too important to go independent. It'll be between the F&M and the PLP. What? And you'll see that Nicole Martin is ahead. You'll see that if her ground game is good and she can able to maintain it, she will win this seat.
And I want to say shout out to Miss Fontella Chipman, who is watching online and reaching out to her constituents. And she's on the thread again. I got deep love for the Lioness Chipman. Someone says I love.
Yes, I'm very much impressed and proud of her. And know what? Well, she takes critique well. You know, some people politicians don't take critique well. They just get passionate, right? You see that she responds and very respectable. So she takes critique well, and that's something to be commendable. And I also want to point out that this show is commendable in terms that I don't think people realize that there are battleground areas and that there are swing areas, right? That there was a trend of going back and forth. And I think that they will take that into consideration moving forward and moving in for next week in the general election.
Someone make note of the fact that Ms. Martin, her tenure as the union president for the hotel workers did not end with a good ending.
And I don't necessarily believe that Nassau Village has a large hotel, if you say Carmichael Road, perhaps.
Nassau Village just had a very strong hotel presence. I got family in Nassau Village who are hoteliers.
And one must also appreciate that Nassau Village is not necessarily Nassau Village proper. It also includes part of Seabreeze and several other places, right? And I think that Nicole Martin has an appeal to those people in terms of her party, in terms of her name brand recognition, and I think that's what will pull over.
Yeah, someone says that Halson will take more F&M votes. They've been PLPs from Charles Carter days. All right, so we have a call on the line. Let's get this call. Caller, you're on the Hit Back. Welcome.
Hello, good afternoon, Raj. How you doing?
I'm doing well, my friend, and you?
I'm doing well, my friend. Who's in studio with you?
This is my good colleague, C.A. Newry.
Oh, C.A. Newry, your analysis is so off, my brother. You forced me to stop everything that I was doing just to call in to correct you. Let me give you a brief history because I know that the cause has to be kept short. Okay, Mr. Strawn is from the Soldier Road, Nassau Village constituency. All his life, he resides there right up to this day. Right. Secondly, he has had a foundation for years in which he's been giving and doing and recognizing the people of Bamboo Town, of Soldier Road, of Nassau Village, of Seabreeze through his foundation. Okay, he's an experienced politician who got his experience internationally from Obama right down to the local leaders in our country, Christie, Brad Davis, Fred Mitchell, etc., etc. Okay, and so he's also a millennial, and so he's very well known amongst the youths in the community of Soldier Road, of Nassau Village, and that entire surrounding community. And so if you're talking about political analysis and being correct and understanding what you're saying, Hudson Moultrie, he will pull away from F&M votes. There is no one that will pull away from deep-rooted PLP votes in that constituency.
Thank you, Anton. I think that's Anton. Is that Anton?
It sounds like Anton. And I maintain what I said. It's for Nicole Martin to win or lose.
I don't think so. I think that she...
I hear Anton. And Anton always spews PLP rhetoric. So I didn't expect...
But again, remember that this constituency goes back and forth. Yes. I don't see that Nicole Martin, considering also the fact that we had a change in the minister. You had a change in the candidate. The candidate left the party, became independent, and you think that she is ahead? I don't know who's ahead, but I don't know necessarily that she is ahead. I don't think so. I don't know if she's ahead, but I think that's interesting. I think that's something we should watch. I think it'll go back. I think this is one of those that'll go back PLP.
And it's definitely something to watch. And as we know, we call it as a swing constituency. But I still believe Nicole Martin is ahead, and we'll see at the end. I see them. They mentioned Obama, right? This here in the U.S., we vote differently.
I know, right? I don't know if that Obama thing will work. I don't know if that works in
no. We sensible voters. We're not like the Americans. We have sense in the Bahamas.
Mm-hmm. But you said what? What?
Yes.
What are you trying to say? We would have voted.
I'm trying to say that we as a country, the Bahamas have more sensible people here in the Bahamas than in the United States. That's what I'm trying to say out loud. Go Bahamas, Team Bahamas, 242 to the world, to the Google.
Mind you, I agree.
Oh, there you go.
We do have smarter. I think we are smarter than them. I ain't gonna lie, right?
Clearly, we like them. They take off their mask and go protest and take in the streets. They peculiar people over there. They're peculiar.
Okay, next one. Next constituency, Battleground. Pinewood, right? Pinewood is another battleground. It's another.
There's something to watch, Nahaja. This is something to watch.
This one here is going to be interesting, and we have, of course, the coalition leader is in Pinewood. So this is for the record. 2002, PLP 2007, FNM 2012, PLP 2017, FNM. Okay, Pinewood is a battleground. It swings. It goes back and forth. We consider this. Someone says Pinewood belongs to Lincoln. Huh?
Lord have mercy.
Let's see who the candidates are for Pinewood, right? Let's see who the candidates are for Pinewood. I think this is what
Siobhan is good people to know, but sometimes she says some things.
Pinewood is good for Lincoln. Hold on, I got to get this one on. So what you said just now? Siobhan is good.
Yeah, but she says some things sometimes.
I feel a little bit of shade in your spirit, though. I just feel a little bit of shade in your spirit.
And a whole tree they're covering me.
All right, running in Pinewood, you have the F&M incumbent, Ruben Ramming, right? And I'm going to look at the data. You have PLP candidate Miles LaRota. You have a DNA deputy leader. Is it now? Or is he the chairman? Deputy leader? I can't keep up no more. I think it's deputy leader. Yes, Stephen Nesbitt. And then you have the coalition of independent leader. In this line, I won't lie to you, Lincoln Bain is the biggest name on this line.
Yes.
Biggest name on this line. He is the head of, in terms of notoriety on this line.
National platform. Yes, he does.
Now will he win his seat, right? Will he win his seat But Lincoln Bain is the biggest line on this ticket. Ruben Ramming.
He ran in this area before. Do you have the numbers of what he polled last election?
I'm going to go and get that right now.
You see the shade I did just now. You see I set up. Yes,
you petty. You petty.
How did he fare last election? More like it would echo how he fared this election.
Lincoln has.
Did you find this yet?
I found it. Lincoln has a good chance at winning this seat. Someone says my Grammy. Someone says my Grammy and Pinewood. No true members. Lincoln get swing. Say Lincoln and Coalition taking Pinewood in the back. All right. Lord. So here are the numbers. Here are the numbers from Pinewood. Right. Now, last election versus this election, this constituency goes back and forth. And I see we're running out of time, and this show's been good. Kalis Roll was the incumbent. He lost. He got 37, almost 38% of the votes. Ruben Ramming got 51, almost 52% of the votes. That's the F&M incumbent. Then you have Lincoln Bain, who was with the DNA then. 8% of the votes. We lost this deposit.
All of that, he got his money back.
But he lost his deposit. No. He lost his deposit.
With 8%?
Yeah. Yeah. He lost his deposit.
I told you only need 5. Go ahead.
No. You need more than that. Hold on. I can find the data. But he lost his deposit. Right? Alicia Hart, independent. Ooh, good woman. She lost the deposit as well. Brunel McKinsey, Dawn Wesley Lockhart, Glenn Roll, who was just on the phone, was with the TPM. He's now in Garden Carmichael with the Grand Commonwealth Party. But everyone except for the PLP and F&M did not lose their deposit. Lincoln lost his deposit. Now, that was how many of those? 1, 2, 3. And if you look at the votes, Lincoln got 380 votes. Alicia got 9. Brunel got 6. Wesley Lockhart got 20. Glenn Roll got 46 votes. And then we go into the thousands for Kalis and Ruben Ramming. The total amount of voters were 4,399. I think that Lincoln will do better. I think he'll do better.
Yes, I think he's going to get at least 500 votes.
So you're saying he's not going to get his deposit back? Is that what you're saying?
No.
Is that what you're saying?
No. He's going to get 500 votes, and it's going to be an improvement, and that's it.
Oh, listen. Oh, Lord. Someone was hurt. Someone said Kalis was a waste of my vote. Man, you can't still be mad at Kalis. Hey, jeez, man. Someone says, man, it's so serious. I want that 100,000 before election. All the names in though, just for the record, with Pinewood, Lincoln Bain is the biggest name on that ticket. He outshadows all. We know that Pinewood is a swing constituency. It goes back and forth. Will Pinewood surprise us? We're out of time. I can't believe it. But will Pinewood surprise us, CA, and split the vote and cause an upset? And we see that the coalition does something here. I think something. Yeah, I do. I think it's something here. All right. We will continue this. Friday is Song Friday. Tomorrow we can't talk politics, so I know what I'm doing tomorrow on the show.
Music. Everyone. You will play music tomorrow.
Play no music tomorrow. All right, everyone. Have a great day. CA, thank you so much, buddy. We'll continue this. See you on Friday. You're listening to the Hit Back with Nahaja Black, Guardian Radio. See you all on Friday. They're out.
It's the Hit Back with Nahaja Black. It's the Hit Back with Nahaja Black. It's the Hit Back with Nahaja Black. You have to be strong in today's world. Keep your focus and what you believe in, how to achieve all your dreams.